So one of my favorite topics pertaining to the future of Dragon Ball, and I'm sure a ton of you can relate as well, is the likelihood and potential of the next God of Destruction. With all of the powerful characters we've seen in Super so far, the next God of Destruction for Universe 7 could be anybody. Me personally, I like to think it could potentially be someone like Frieza, or even better, now that the Tournament of Power has come to an end and we've been introduced to a few new characters, I think the best candidate for the job after Beerus could definitely be Broly. Even though Broly is pretty much just raw power right now, and I'm pretty sure he can't even control his Super Saiyan form, it seems like he could at some point become a training partner slash student of Goku's, or maybe even Whis if things work out that way. I even consider Vegeta one of the better candidates, although there are a few variables that stand in the way of that ever happening. I know I've made a video talking about possible future Gods of Destructions in the past, and not a lot has changed concerning Dragon Ball Super since then, but thanks to Young Gigi and Hyoga, today I'm bringing you guys a brand new fan-made journey that takes place a little while after the Tournament of Power. Dragon Ball Super Tiger Road, a story between the Saiyan people and the Tora people, or White Tiger people. If you guys want to check this one out for yourselves, I'll be sure to leave a link down in the description box below, but without further ado,
I got swords on my back, samurai stack, ninjas with me niggas, throwing stars at these bitches, eating ramen noodles in the hood with my ninjas.
So the first thing we see is a teenage boy around high schooler age, and he lets off an intense amount of energy out of nowhere. So much so that it's strong enough to be felt across the multiverse, and this all takes place at the same time as the Tournament of Power is underway. Goku, who is in the midst of his battle with Jiren, says that all of a sudden just then he felt someone extremely strong. One thing that's pretty cool about this setup of the story is how the author shows the events going on in the Tournament of Power as well as Earth at the same time. A different perspective we weren't granted in the show originally, as we see the young boy sense the immense power of both Goku and Jiren as they have their battle. When Goku reaches the peak of his power and achieves his Master Ultra Instinct form, our young warrior back on Earth senses it sharply as the clash between two of the most powerful fighters in all the multiverse comes to a climax, and it sends shockwaves across the Earth. When this occurs, a street sign falls and is about to crush a young girl, but the young boy appears to have unlocked some form of his power during the mayhem, and he's able to blow the sign up before it crushes the little girl. A change occurs within him, and it seems that he's even transformed, as even he doesn't understand what's going on. It's later explained that the mysterious young man back on Earth did in fact transform into a Super Saiyan during his time of peril. Because he was born naturally blonde, he has remained unaware of himself this entire time, even though he has been using these powers in everyday life. Eventually he was able to reach the point of Super Saiyan 2 pretty effortlessly, to say the least, but no one at this point in time is aware of his Saiyan abilities. Not even he himself, and he's done it all pretty much without any training whatsoever. After the conclusion of the Tournament of Power, things occurred in about the same fashion as we know of already, but in this story, a certain God of Destruction became interested with the power of the Saiyans after what happened in the tournament. This is the Dark God of Destruction, Garo, and his attendant Karushia. Despite his title of God of Destruction, he's named the Dark God because of his unusual cruelty even for a destroyer. Even though the amount of Saiyans in existence is dangerously low, Karushia says that she has someone in mind that he may like to meet. She pulls out her staff to show the events we just witnessed prior, as we see the young boy from before saving the little girl that was about to be crushed with Super Saiyan powers. Garo takes immediate interest in this Saiyan, as Karushia says that this boy is a Saiyan with potentially the blood of Yamoshi possibly running through him, which is exactly what he's looking for. Apparently though, Goku and Vegeta are Saiyans that have learned to tap into their true potential, so maybe there are others in existence that can do the same, and this boy could be one. She then goes on to explain that long before even Goku and Vegeta's time, a mixed race of Saiyans and Earthlings was in existence, but because the blood of the Saiyans thinned out over time and almost faded away, the presence of Saiyan aura in some of these descendants can barely be felt, if at all. Karushia says that the young boy isn't much of a big deal at the moment, but according to the legend, a strong warrior can be born from a hybrid Earthling Saiyan bloodline, so he's worth looking into, to say the least. And on top of that, what if he does prove to be of the same bloodline as Yamoshi, the legendary Super Saiyan? That could definitely make this quite entertaining. Just the mere mention of the name Yamoshi is enough to catch Garo's attention even more, as he says that if this is true, then this young Saiyan's potential would certainly be worth some investment, as he wonders just how this boy will grow And will he eventually be a formidable opponent for Goku and Vegeta? All of a sudden, this is when Garo and Karushia appear on Earth before the boy, as they waste no time in going to assess his powers. Before the boy can even utter a sentence, however, Garo knocks him out cold with a chop to the back of the neck, which was probably a bit too strong for someone that can't even control their strength, as it puts him flat on his face. Once they get back and the boy awakens, Garo introduces himself as the Dark God of Destruction and pretty much tells the boy that he's here to rid him of his boredom of weak fighters. Obviously, knowing nothing outside of an average person's daily life, this kid doesn't know anything about gods of destructions or anything like that, so he says that he's going home right now, but of course he still can't really move. This is the first time we learn the boy's name, as he introduces himself as Zen. Garo says that it seems like it'll take some time to train him right now, so he requests that Zen show him his current power level, but the boy has no idea how to even begin to do this. This is kind of where Karushia comes in, as she seems to possess similar powers to other angels even though she has this demonic appearance, and she says that she's going to draw out his inner power. Then she zaps him as Zen's whole body tenses up and we see his aura start to get bigger, and then the next panel, he's transformed into a Super Saiyan 2. Garo, although impressed, says that this still isn't enough however, so he tells Karushia to send Zen to this small room that seems to have properties that alter space and time. In this room, Zen will battle an evil spirit to awaken his true potential, but since his Saiyan blood is so diluted with human blood, there is a chance that he may be consumed by the evil spirit if he doesn't defeat it, but Garo insists anyway, so off to this mysterious room he's sent. In a flash, Zen is transported to this mysterious arena, and when he opens his eyes, before him stands this fierce looking warrior who seems to be the keeper of this place. The guy introduces himself as Toru, and he is indeed the overseer of this realm for everyone that is to arrive here. Basically, this room is something similar to the hyperbolic time chamber, and it seems for some reason that Garo has sent this Saiyan hybrid here for him to train, since he's of the Toru race, who are also a similar fighting race to the Saiyans. He says that Zen has the potential to draw out the full power of the Saiyans within him, and his role is to purify those who have strong evil spirits in them. The power itself won't make him evil, but if his heart is manipulated by his mind, then he won't stand a chance, basically saying that if his natural Saiyan instincts cause him to get power hungry, then he's pretty much finished. And it's here that Zen's training begins, as Toru explains to him basically what Saiyans are and how his body works much differently than a regular human's. He explains that by defeating a person with a strong spirit, he can strengthen his own, although this isn't necessarily the type of fight you can win with your fists, but with his mind and will. If he overcomes it, he will become much stronger, as Toru says that he'll watch over him, and then he closes his eyes. When he reopens them, in front of him stands a sinister looking individual that clearly resembles an evil spirit. Zen, having no fighting experience, doesn't even know where to begin, but he doesn't really get any time to think, as the evil spirit charges straight at him with full intent to kill, and the battle begins. Like I said earlier, Zen has pretty much no experience whatsoever, so the spirit just throws him around, but then something begins to change. Even though Zen is getting beat up, he starts to learn as he goes, as he begins to get his balance back, and eventually he's even able to block an attack, and then he dodges one. Zen begins to feel that his senses are sharpening, and his body is sort of moving on its own to avoid the attacks. He says that he can feel the blood of Saiyans boiling through him, but then he gets frozen by some sort of weird technique. The evil spirit holds an orb in hand, and in it shows images of those close to Zen, as the first person is seen getting hit by a car. The next is seen as a hostage in the middle of a bank robbery, and then falls victim to the bloodthirsty burglars in a rain of bullets. As Zen is brought to tears, the last person shown in the orb is the little girl from before. As Zen begins to show signs of reaching a breaking point, he begs the spirit to stop showing him these things, and then he snaps. In a fit of rage, Zen explodes and releases a massive power I don't think I've ever seen before, as his hair and eyes turn crimson, and it seems that he may have achieved what may be called Super Saiyan God 3. As Garo and his assistant monitor what's happening with Zen, Garo asks if it's really a good idea to be using evil spirits, but she says that he's actually much stronger than she ever imagined, and they still don't even know how far he can go. This is when Karushia drags Zen back into their dimension, leaving both the spirit he was fighting and Toru, as Garo says that it's time to visit Beerus' place. Before they leave, however, Karushia says that they should change him into something more suitable to fight in and also fitting for the new apprentice Dark God of Destruction. When they finished, they changed his hair black and also gave him a new gi to fight in, so he definitely looks a lot more presentable now, as Karushia smirks, saying that this is the new God of Destruction that they've been looking for, and then they head to Beerus' planet. That's gonna do it for this one, guys. Thanks so much for watching all the way till the end. This was a pretty long one, I know, but absolutely a cool story nonetheless. Down below in the comments, let me know what you guys think of this new fan-made storyline taking place in the Dragon Ball Super timeline. I love it when Super gets continued off of because there's so much more content to work with instead of just being like stuck in the Frieza or the Cell Saga or something like that. But anyways, don't forget to follow me on Twitter to stay up to date with all Dragon Ball related content, as well as Twitch to never miss a stream. But that's it for this one. Have a great day, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.